So thank you first, and then next one, let's welcome Chen-Yu to share your works. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hi, everyone. Okay. I'm Chen-Yu, and I'm currently in Netherlands. And then maybe I will start with my slide right now. Wait a second. Hi. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not full screen yet. Oh, now it's full screen.
Yeah, I'm your new friend on the internet. And I'm kind of sorry because I have a flight tomorrow. So now recently I was doing presentation in school, and also I need to clean my apartment, and also, to pick up something from the school. But I think I can start to doing the research for this online residency starts from next week, and we can have more conversation on the Slack, or just message me, and then we can have open discussion for the project. So I will miss my classmates. It's sad to leave them. Okay, so here I'm going to show my previous works, and the works will just kind of have a brief with what the skills I have, and then have general aesthetic of colors and presentation, so you guys can know what am I working on, and also what kind of style that I'm interested in. And then here we go. This is my graduation show from my bachelor degree. And then it's textiles. So basically I was knitting all of them, and also felting and then do the print. In that time, it was exhausted, but I just have a great time doing that project. And then so after graduation from fashion, I kind of lost also in fashion. I was considering to apply for continue my master's degree in fashion, but I think my experience in Shanghai after graduation was kind of just open another door for me. I was doing volunteer in Shanghai with my friend. At that time, we were giving lunch for the homeless people. And then my friend, so we went to the underground or metro station inside the Hongqiao train station. In front of the train station. And then it's around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and then the image is still in my head that all the people, there are kind of 50 or 40 people laying on the ground with their trolleys. So that makes me kind of think, do I have to continue working with fashion, or what kind of approach that I can actually take? Or because fashion is about like a quick consumption world, or just this kind of endless buying, or especially what if my concept is about, I have a concept in my work, but with this kind of fashion industry that people only cares about the outside world. I don't think they necessarily focus on what I did or what the story behind my fashion story. So that's why I kind of move around and create installation. And then this is a shoes. Yes. So it's a knitting shoes. Like I also work with Adidas for around 2 years. So I think this project we are developed it for 1 year, and then it's my proudest baby, I have to say. And then it's also another project using the textiles to create object, another approach after I quit my job. Also, this is another work. Currently it's in the craft center in Nantou 工艺中心, and then yes, contemporary jewelry. Also, and after that, I come and study in Netherlands. And then this is the first time that we are introduced with this Arduino project. And then it's the first approach. Yeah, so I can't wait to work with this kind of technology again. And it's also, I want to, it's not my strength, but I really want to looking for someone to collaborate with, and we can have something fun with the performance. Also, this is the first project. Yes, in my first final presentation, I start to do this kind of performance and also installation. And then recently, I'm trying to reconnect myself and my body together and then see what's happening. Because I feel like we all have the body, but I feel like there is a disconnection between, I feel like I am with my body, but I don't know my body very well. So I think for the past half year, I'm trying to have an in-depth relationship with my body and with the surrounding landscape and things. This is a research. It was in Netherlands, and my teacher suggested me to visit there and to feel in the landscape with the sea. So I was feeling the sea with my feet and also with the papers. And fabric as well. Just observe the surrounding with my body, my feet, the sound. And later on, bring it back in another space and trying to reinterpret my feelings in another space with the movement. Okay, so I think my interest for this online residency is also something related to the pandemic. Because I feel like the distancing is something I like to hug people, I like to be around with people, but with this kind of pandemic, the relationship is it intrigued us to form a different behavior from the past, and which is I want to explore with. So this is what's happening in Netherlands, like the distancing. So I feel like for this kind of the reality that we are having living in this kind of the world, they are trying to, with the COVID-19, that we need to keep a distance. We are afraid people, the new friend we meet will have corona or not. So we are trying to, there is a kind of a distancing happens in between. And then for this reason, it makes me personally intrigued or have a nostalgia for the past, that with the harmony from the community. So that's why I really want to restudy the rituals from the East, from Taiwan or from the tribe, and then kind of restudy with the past and then combine with the situation, with the pandemic situation right now, and then see what is the new project could become. So yes, this is before, last year I had a nice trip in Vietnam, Sapa, and then they are from Hamon, and then we had a lovely night talking to each other. And then during that time, I went around June, and then it's the seasons to harvest this kind of hemp, so they can turn the grass, the hemp, into fiber to weave the clothes. And during that time, they also doing the indigo dyeing. So this is my host's daughter. Her name is Kurt. And then she makes me flowers. I just miss this kind of harmony atmosphere with the tribes. And also I was invited to the shamanic ceremony. And then for that day, it was magical day for me. Like, I met all the tribes, the locals that we don't know each other's language, but this kind of gathering together and share stories and eat together is something it's very empowering, and it's a healing. In that moment, I just feel like so touched that I'm so welcomed by them. So yes, with the new pandemic situation, that it will probably become new reality, how to build the relationship between people, object, time, and space, what is the most valuable thing that we could blend from the past tribal culture into modern society. So for my next research, I think I will focus on research more with the rituals in Taiwan. So this is from Ami's tribe. I think it also talks about how to take care of each other. And then this is another, so this is from Aboriginal tribe, and this is from the Taiwanese folks' beliefs about, how can I say that? It's about a kind of blessing. And even though we don't know if the God is truly there or not, but these kind of rituals also help us to not afraid of something, and then to be ease with life. It happens in the temple in Taipei. And it's about like wanting the bad spirit to be away, and then wanting the spirit of ourself coming back. So all the gestures have the meaning. So I would love to know if there is any particular ritual that you know from the tribes in your culture, or the ritual that you personally create to makes you feel ease or to makes you feel comfortable or to heal yourself? And then could you try to act, record, and share with me? So this is the skill I also learned from my school this year, that I think I will explain about this method later on the screen. So when body becomes a design practice, it has replaced the pen for sketching ideas out in the moment of moving, brings out the sense and memories unconsciously. So I feel like now when I go, I will just move with the surrounding naturally, and then the thoughts, the ideas will come out, and then it will blend together. I mean, it's another understanding with the world, another understanding with the world, also understanding with myself. So I feel like it has replaced, because before I always carry a pen and a notebook everywhere. When I go to a certain place, the feeling will inspire me to write something. But now this writing is becoming my body, and I'm writing the story with my body. So I think I kind of have the general idea or approach for this project till December. So yeah, situated with something related to pandemic, nostalgia for the old collaborative fact, like yes, tribals living style and their rituals. I'm also looking forward to discuss tribal stories, rituals, and healing ceremonies, and then collaborate, because I think you guys are amazing, and that because I'm not a technical person, and then I look at the wiki, and then there is something happening around with technology and sound, e-textiles, which I also really want to learn. And then some of you are also very professional with the Taiwanese craft or weaving. So yes, so let's hope we can have more discussion with this project. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Chen-Yu. Does anyone has any questions for Chen-Yu? I'm curious about like how do you feel about the change when you're under the pandemic situation when you are staying in Europe? Because I think for example in Taiwan I think the situation in Taiwan is very different from other countries. So maybe can you share more about like, because you mentioned that the distance between the people, because people really needs to keep the social distance, or some people have to be locked down in their home, and so actually the way of living is totally changed. And I think that's also part of the reason why that we have like online meeting, online residency a lot at this moment. And I'm also wondering, like, how do you feel like people can connect connect to each other without really approaching to each other? Is that possible for you?
Yes, this is why I'm also interested with the ritual. First, the ritual can also happen in online. That in my class, in last 3 months before, we are doing this kind of online ritual together before the online courses starts, which is interesting. We just create the gestures, something like also. But so, for example, like this. We were interpret with like as a kiss. So before we say goodbye, we were always like this, like kiss goodbye. We are inventing the gestures online with the kind of in a collaborative way, and everyone Yes, yeah. So it's kind of fun. And also we were doing the dancing together, holding our screens, and just to reunite as a group together during that time. So because at that time I flew back to Taiwan, continue my online course, and some of my classmates, they also stay in Netherlands or back to their country. So this kind of, I had a nice relationship with my classmates, and we all miss each other. And also it's not funny or it's not comfortable to stare at the screen for 5 or 6 hours. So like creating these rituals online is also what I feel inspired during that time. So it's also possible. But for this project, because for me, I'm still very material person. I like to make stuff. I like to get my hands dirty. Yes, so I'm still thinking like, what is if the pandemic situation, if this kind of 1.5 meter distancing is inevitable in the future, maybe for 1 year, how, if this is a standard, when with this kind of rules or restriction, how can we embody the old ritual from the past tribe, or is there something element that we can bring from the past? But this is a questions right now, and yes, I want to research around this topic later on. So if you know there is other rituals from the tribes that you are interested in, and just let me know, please.
Yeah, thank you. And when you say like the rituals from the tribe, you mean like what kind of a tribe? Or because you mentioned like when people are doing like using the incense to like circle around people, that is more like
Basically the ritual that I am focusing or is just a main topic is because this kind of instance is a traditional way of to bless people and to wish them to be healthy, or to wish them to have the bad spirit away. So for me, my ritual will be about people's well-being with this ritual. Well-being? Yes, I think so. Well, related healing, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why I feel a bit shameful that I am from the East, but I don't know much enough from the culture that I'm born with. So
I feel the same.
So I feel like I want to do more research upon this. And there, in the East, we have so many different. Even though it's in the East, like Taiwanese folk ritual and Aboriginal, they are all different. So I think I would like to have a general study with the rituals and pick up the elements I'm interested in.
I feel like I'm also trying to learn more about the Oriental culture, and more also about Taiwan, because I also try to use some. I ask around for Aboriginal tribes. They also have amazing handmade skills to make their own fabric, and in really beautiful patterns as well. And all the patterns mean something, and most of them are something to, just like you say, blessing or protect themselves, or to be a certain status for them. I think it's very interesting. Yes. And I have a question. When you say, I think it's really interesting when you mention about it's like a journey from a fashion designer and then explore more about art, even performance art. And you say you used to use pen a lot, but now you try to use your body instead of pen to memorize things. But how could that work? I still cannot really understand.
And everyone, open up your screen. Let's do something together, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Doing
I
the
think
stand-up?
yes, I mean, it's a magical journey that I have learned this year. And then before, I'm born in Taiwan, and actually, when I was in kindergarten school, and then in the morning, we need to do the dancing at that time. I was 5 or 6 years old. And at that time, I hate it. So I changed to another kindergarten school because I feel so embarrassed with the dancing and moving. So I have never thought my body could become a practice for myself. This was never happened in past 20 something years. So I think I just move intuitively. Sometimes I will listen to the sound and then feel the sound. I know it's very abstract, but I'm also feeling this abstract right now, since it's very magical to me. And sometimes I will go to the beach or go to the mountain or go to there are a lot of waterfalls in Taiwan, and I will just observe and try to make a movement on whatever. Yes, so I'm still building this relationship with my body and surrounding up. And then also, I think in the video there was a kind of dancing. I was relocated from the beach side and then moved to another space. I was kind of interpret with the dancing. And during that dance, because I think I'm talking about this kind of embodiment because I physically have this kind of physical experience inside the landscape by the sea, Wadden Sea in Netherlands. So my feet remember the textures of the ground, the sound during that moment, the wind, how it feels. And yes, so the kind of the remember or memory from that specific time, space in the landscape, it's naturally inside the body, so it could reinterpret with another space. And then during that movement, I mean different movement. I have during that okay, it's a bit maybe complex. Okay, so during that movement from the sea, I was just focusing on my memory from the sea, and then so that is one practice. And the other practice is I try to, when I'm sad, before I will write down all the notes of what makes me sad or blah, 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 how my emotion is going through this. And then now it's becoming like I will think about my sadness and I will just try to act. Or when I'm angry, that I will just be hard with, just move with my body. And then this kind of the thoughts or the anger could release. Yes, so also with this new practice, I'm also trying to describe this in a maybe written format right now, because so far I know it's abstract, but I think just this embodiment is magical for me, and I would like to bring this, or I would like the final exhibition around December that the participant could actually engage with the work that we make together. And then because, yes, so I can imagine that it will becoming a participatory experience for the visitors. Something like that. That's a big picture.
Thank you. I think it's very interesting. I just never really try things like that. And I think you use your body, you can, even though it's not something you can maybe read it again like a paper, but your body also memorize the feeling or memorize the movement that you've done, right?
So yeah, next time we have to go to your place, have a drink, and then let's move.
And dance.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think it's very fascinating to hear that you're also like creating your new ritual. Because like for me, like you mentioned, like ritual is actually not only like how people feel connect to each other, but also is how they see the nature and connect to the nature. So for me, it's kind of thing like under this kind of situation that people are trying or in maybe in their hearts they will like seeking for the very primate energy from nature. So that's why like people are trying to make themselves calm. So that's why like we try to do this kind of things because the incense you mentioned, like it's also a way that we talk to the God we believe that. So we feel like people, like there is someone that is taking care of us. Maybe it's a God, maybe it's a nature or some other spirits. Yeah. So it's very interesting. And I liked your gesture. Maybe we can create one for our gathering.
Opening. That would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions for Zhenyu? Or does anyone want to share like the ritual in your memory or in your culture right now that you come up to your mind? Yeah.
That just reminds me Iris' theory, the kingship. She was giving some questions about this kingship.
Kingship.
What is that? I don't understand.
It's a wrong English, maybe.
Even though you wrote Chinese 血亲关系，可是我还是有点不太懂。
Ship.
That intimacy, something like that.
It's like we have our awareness, but there's a subconsciousness also. So like your body, there's a theory like your body, like your body memory. It's kind of a subconsciousness, but this subconsciousness, by my understanding, this is like each of your cell feels. It's not only your brains take care of your recognition, your body also. Not soul, but body. Yeah, not because we all think. No, I'm just talking to myself. So, but just like we do things like we think we are doing it, but your brains only take part of this activity. There's also the body memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you cannot explain it scientifically. So, how to say? I would just explain it like it's your, it's from your kingship, your how you raised up, but how you raised up is not just how your parents, the education from your parents is from your whole family. You can trace it back long time ago.
Yeah, it's like a collective memory to become who you are. You know, it's also traced to your ancestor.
Yeah,
right?
your notion is only part of you. There's I think maybe something like a 10% only it's your notion, but there's a 90% is from your family or from your kingship. And I just remember, I just related your talk to Iris' talk yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, cognition. Yeah.
Do you know anyone in the group that is have this knowledge with this kind of Aboriginal cultures and rituals that I can reach?
You can reach.
I can, yeah.
You mean some tribal reference? No, I'm not the expert for this. No, I don't know any ritual. I cannot give you some reference about ritual of this. My part is more related to my interest. I mean, it's more related to brain science and.
Yeah, but I think Zhenyu is asking, like, do you know anyone, like, probably she can connect to, that who is familiar with this discipline?